Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be walking you guys through the steps on how I created this soft glam right here. To me, this is just like so stunning. I'm so impressed with the way my makeup turned out today. Now I am pressed for time and I am about to run out the door, but of course I did not want to start today's video without an intro. As always, if you like the content that you see, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, bell notifications on. I had so much fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want the step-by-step tutorial, of course you know what to do. Keep on watching. So that means grab your makeup brushes, snack, water, matcha tea, whatever is your preference, and let's get into it. Alright you guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into today's get ready with me because I am on a time crunch. I have about an hour and a half to get ready. So let's get started with the eyeshadow. Of course my lids are primed and set. For today's palette, I'm using the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette with Desi and Katy, which is an all-time favorite of mine. And I'm going to be using about 3 to 4 shades from here. So first we're going to start with Necessary, which is this shadow right here. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush. This is the JH34. Swirl my brush in there very generously. Tap it off and then just start buffing this shadow into my crease. For today's look, I think I want to do a cut crease situation. I have not done a cut crease in God knows how long, so I kind of want to do one today just to get that practice in there and see what it comes out like. We'll see if I got some skills or not, but I'm gonna buff this into the crease, just trying to create a little bit of definition and just buffing this out. I do want to grab a little bit of a larger brush, so this is the one I'm using, and I'm gonna take this one. This is the M330 from Morphe, and I'm just gonna use this very clean brush, no additional product, just to buff and blend this out a little more. I feel like this brush right here wasn't giving me as much blendability as I wanted, as to where this one's a little bit more fluffier and flexible as far as the bristles go, so it just helps me blend this out and smoke it out a little better. So I do want to deepen the crease area a little bit more and add a little bit more of like mauve tones from this palette instead of browns. So I'm going to take this shade right here called Girl Bye, and I'm going to take that on the same brush we used in the beginning. So this again is the JH34. And I'm going to just start blending this into the crease as well. I'm going to do it little by little, so I'm just like taking the brush back and forth in the crease very lightly, because this color can be a bit intense if you use too much of it, and I just wanted a little of added dimension in the crease area, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Then I'm going to take that same blending brush we were using before, just to again just help blend this out, and I'm going to blend this a little higher this time. So I'm still keeping it in the crease, but I'm bringing it up just a little bit. That way when we do the cut crease, we can still see these colors. That looks so pretty on its own. I almost don't even want to cut the crease, but we're actually going to do that now. So for that, I am going to use the Nars Soft Matte Concealer, because this is what I use to prime my lids. It's also what I use to cut my crease. And I'm gonna take a flat brush like this, and I'm just gonna start carving out my entire lid. So from inner corner to outer corner. And I'm gonna do my best to get this on camera, but again, I have not done a cut crease in God knows how long, so I'm really more focused on trying to perfect it versus trying to make sure I'm in frame. But I really hope that I'm in frame. So this is as good as I can get my cut crease for now. So what I want to do is try and perfect like the outer corners or outer, I don't know, what would you call that? Like the outer parts of the actual cut crease. So right here in the crease where we were applying that shade to begin with. So I'm going to take a mixture of both of them, both Necessary and I believe this is Girl Bye. And I'm going to take that on an even smaller blending brush, just lightly, just to kind of help define this area a little more and just kind of perfect those lines before we go in with our actual lid shade. I just want to brush over this very, very lightly. For me personally, that just really helped just to clean up the lines and just perfect them a lot more, and I like it a lot more now that I've done that. So now for the lid shade, I'm going to take Basic in the palette, which is this one right here. It's like a muted pinky nude, and you guys know I love my nude shades, so I'm going to pack this on the blank space of the lid where we just cut the crease at. So really simple, really easy, and it kind of looks like the concealer, but in person it definitely has more of that pinky nude undertone to it. But I think it looks really good so far. I'm really happy with where I've gotten to thus far with the eyes. It seems pretty easy, but cut creases can be a little bit intimidating from time to time. Now there's two different ways I can take this look. I can go on the outer corner, adding some definition with a darker brown, or I could just do a winged liner. I'm really indecisive on what I want to do. I still want the look to be really soft in nature. Some may think that black liner will just be too intense and take away from the softness, but I don't think it would, honestly. So I think I'm gonna go with liner, and for that I'm gonna use this one from Makeup Revolution. This is a black liner felt tip that I've had for some time. It's honestly one of the best drugstore liners I've used personally. So I am going to do this part off camera as well as pop on my lashes. For lashes today, I'm going to be wearing these ones from Allure. This is in collaboration with Jordan Woods, and this is Tropic Like It's Hot Foaming Lashes. So this is what they look like. I'm going to pop these ones on. I think they'll be perfect for this look, and then when I come back I can finish off the rest of this face with you, but I'm definitely going to do this part off camera just so I can speed things up, because as I said before, I'm on a time crunch. So to be more proactive, I am actually letting my lash glue dry. The liner is on. As you guys see, I did not take it all the way to the inner corner of the eye. I tried to stop like midway with the liner, and I think with the lashes it's gonna look beautiful. So let's go ahead and prime the skin first with this one from Nars. This is their Radiance primer. I want something a little glowy today, and this also has SPF in it, 35. Even though I've already applied my sunscreen, a little extra sunscreen never hurt nobody, so I'm just gonna put this everywhere. So of course I'm not just stopping at one primer. I'm gonna go in with the Tatcha Silk Canvas. Of course, this is for my pores, and you guys know I have some big pores, so I wanna do whatever I can to cover those up. And I'm also gonna take it down here on the chin and just kind of spread this product out, because I did put quite a bit. I'm gonna move into foundation now, and I'm gonna use this one from Maybelline. This is their Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. This is in Golden Dore, which is 312. This is definitely one with a lot of staying power in my opinion, and it's one of my many favorites, especially when it comes to drugstore foundations. You guys see that coverage on this? It's just amazing. I love this foundation. If you want more full coverage going on your skin, obviously you could layer this foundation up. This one is definitely a foundation you could layer without it looking too cakey. Me personally, I just like to put on one layer of this and kind of call it a day, regardless of anything peeking through, because I don't really mind that medium coverage. But if you want something more full, definitely go in with 2 layers of foundation. I really love the formula of this original Camo concealer. I'm not crazy about the hydrating version, but this original version is like my go-to for most days, and I just find the formula to be really full coverage. It does dry down kind of quickly, so you do want to work quick with this. Not as quick as others that I have tried, but still quick enough, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna lay that down, and then I'm gonna give it a second kind of let it get a little tacky, not too much, because again, if you let it dry down way too much, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to blend, and you probably would have to use a brush to do that. So that's about as much time as I give it. And now I'm going to start tapping it in. This just really helps to brighten up my face really nicely. And I just like this shade of concealer, which I don't even think I told you guys what shade I'm using. This is Tan Sand. So just tapping this under the eyes, T-zone, and just really helping to brighten everything up. For a little bit of dimension to the face, we are going to cream contour with this Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is in Warm Almond, and for this product, I'm actually going to put it on the back of my hand. And I'm going to take my brush that I like to use from e.l.f. Looks like this. And I'm going to tap into the product first before I apply it. Sometimes I just dot it all over my face where I want it and then, you know, blend it out with a brush. But today I want to kind of just stipple it on little by little because I don't want too much of the product. So now I'm just going on top of everything, the concealer and the cream contour that we laid down, and I'm just stippling it in a little bit more with this brush. This is an IT Cosmetics, I'm sorry, it's actually an e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush, but IT Cosmetics definitely has a brush very similar to this, and I do have it, which is why I thought I was using that one, but this one's from e.l.f. It works just the same, and I'm just stippling all of this in, just making sure everything is just nice and blended. Now it's time to set using a little bit of this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This is an oldie but a goodie for me. I really love this powder. I like the way it just lays so flawlessly on the skin. I have not used it as much recently, which is why I pulled it out today, because I really want something that's gonna make my pores look almost seamless, and this powder definitely does that for me. So I'm just gonna tap this in the inner corner, underneath the eyes, and just basically all around the T-zone area. And it also helps with like brightening up the under eye and in pretty much wherever you put the powder. But this powder is just so smooth and just, oh my gosh, this powder is everything, you guys. Seriously, you guys, that powder is like, think of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush pressed powder, but it's that in powder form and drugstore and affordable. I mean, what more could you ask for? So now I'm going to set the rest of my face using this Sephora Micro Smooth powder, which is similar to the Charlotte Tilbury, gives the same effect, does the same thing, but at a cheaper price point, of course. Yes, it's in Sephora. It's Sephora brand, obviously. And I'm pretty sure these are actually still on the shelves, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, though. Now, for bronzer, I'm going to use this palette. This is the Ace Beauty Bronzed in Paradise palette. And as you see, we have 4 different options for bronzer. And I'm just going to grab the lightest 2 shades, mix those together, and just start buffing that right on the cheekbone. With a more tapered brush, I can grab the deeper shade right above the 2 that we just grabbed, and then use that just to create a little bit more definition right down here. You guys know I do this a lot with the ABH bronzer. I've done it with the Fenty bronzer. I'm just really big on bronzing the skin, but also using different tones within, you know, a palette, or just like multiple different bronzers, just to create some definition, and just mixing and matching the different undertones and stuff are more warm, and it's more of what I want my bronzer to be. And then the darker tones I like to use more so for like contour, so to speak. But instead of using an actual contour, I'm using bronzer. I don't know. Everybody has their own method or madness to how they do things. This is just what I do. For my nose contour, I'm just using this Real Techniques 402 brush, which is their setting brush, but I'm actually using it with the second to lightest bronzer shade in the palette, just to kind of contour my nose a little bit and give it a little bit of definition. I'm really not good when it comes to contouring my nose, so can someone please teach me? Like, teach me the right way to snatch my nose. I mean, what I do kind of works for me, but I feel like it definitely could be a lot better. Whether it's the technique or like what am I doing wrong, let me know, because I could definitely use your help. So that's as much as I'm gonna do with that, and we're just gonna move on from that. Now, with the power of editing, lower lash line is now complete, mascara, liner, and of course the eyeshadow. And oh my gosh, you guys, I could not be any more prouder of today's look. Oh, it's just giving. Okay, so now I am going to finish things off with a little bit of blush as well as highlight, and for that I'm going to use my Sephora palette. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to grab both a blush shade, or a couple of different blushes, as well as the highlight. So for blush, I am going to use a mixture of, let's go with a mixture of these three. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to take that on a fluffy angled brush. This isn't my favorite blush brush to use, but we're going to roll with it because it's what I have that's clean. And I'm going to pop this on the higher part of my cheekbone. As you guys know, this is where I've been loving to place my blush. It just really helps to lift the face versus being right here on the apples of your cheek. I feel like that just, you know, it really drags your face down in a sense. So I'm going to pop it here. Very, very pigmented, as you guys can see. And then take a little bit more. Tap it here and then here. For highlight, I'm going to take the golden shade right here, which I believe is really a highlight within the palette. But let Sephora tell it, this is a blush palette. But let me tell it, this is definitely a highlight. So I'm going to pop this here because I really like this highlight. It's very natural. Really a glow from within type of highlighter, not chunky whatsoever, and it just glides on the skin so nicely. And you kind of like really have to be looking for it in order to see it, and especially like right here on the cheekbone area. So of course our look is not complete without a lip choice. So for that I'm going to use both this Milani lip liner. It's very small because it's very much loved and highly used. This is an all natural. And then I'm going to use this liquid lipstick from NYX. This is their Suede Cream Lipstick. Wow. In No Envy. So you guys know I don't pull out pink lipsticks too often, but when I do, it's a moment. And I'm really feeling the spring vibe that we got going on. And this could even be a Easter makeup look if you wanted to wear this for Easter, which I'm definitely thinking about. So I'm going to start off with lining my lips and then go in with the cream lipstick. Alright beauties, so this is the look finished and complete. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now I went ahead and added a little something extra for the lip. I wasn't really into the cream lip. I wanted something a little bit more matte. And so therefore I went in with a little bit of this Rimmel translucent powder. It's just a pressed powder. I just took it on a little brush and tapped it on top, and now we have a matte lip instead of something more cream-like, and I am so obsessed with this look. I have to toot my own horn on this because it's a look, okay? Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and my little get ready with me. I do have to get up and run out the door now, but before I go, I do want to put on fragrance with you guys. This is something I don't normally do, but I figured I'm gonna start incorporating a little bit more than just makeup with my get ready with me's. You know, maybe some hair, outfit, inspo, things of that nature. But today we're going to start it off very, very easily with a little bit of perfume. So I've been loving this one from Kilian. This is the Princess. It says, "I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess," which is so cute, but it also smells so good, you guys. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to perfumes as far as like notes and things like that, but all I can say is it smells so good, and it's just like so elegant at the same time and so grown up. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. But I'm gonna pop a little bit of this on because who doesn't like to smell good when they go out? And yeah, oh, it smells amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I am gonna close it out here, and I hope to see all of you in the next one. I love you guys so much. Make sure you subscribe if you like today's content, as well as clicking the bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram for daily content. And with all of that, I am going to see you guys in the next video.